Welcome to BEFM Drama. I'm your host, Ryan Estrada. As you know by now, this season we're adapting the 22 forgotten sequels that Charles Dickens wrote to A Christmas Carol. These books are not connected by any characters or even themes. He gave up even trying to make them about Christmas early on, even though they were considered as holiday books. And they got further and further away from that as time went on, especially when Dickens started relying more on his collaborators. Today we're adapting 1856's The Wreck of the Golden Mary. Dickens didn't even totally write the framing chapters on this one. He collaborated with Wilkie Collins, which probably means he let Wilkie do all of the work. And Wilkie really set this one apart. For a series that started out as happy Christmas stories, this book is dark. It's about a boat full of people dying horrible deaths, one by one, and admitting their darkest secrets, including stuff I can't even say on the radio. Really messed up stuff. So instead of trying to create something as disturbing as the original tale, which I don't want to write and you don't want to read, I'm just going to take the story, characters, and themes of the book and make something silly out of it. Please enjoy BeFM Drama's production of Shipwrecked in the City.
The wreck of the Golden Mary was a big story. It made all the papers. A tourist boat out to see the Statue of Liberty sank into the sea. Luckily, all the passengers were saved. As far as everyone knows, everyone survived. But most people don't know the whole story. I heard parts of it that no one else did. My partner and I got a call out to help one of the victims. That much we expected, but we never expected to find him where we did.
Oh man, it's too bad about that sinking ship, huh? I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, so far it sounds like everyone is getting the help they need.
I wonder if they're gonna call us out to help.
I heard the boat was from the other side of the river. It's unlikely any victims will make it out this way.
23 Dickens.
I knew it! They need our help!
Go for 23 Dickens.
We have a drowning victim found unconscious, believed to be from the Golden Mary.
Sounds like I'd better head to the pier.
He's at the corner of 8th and 51st.
What? Where?
Sorry, did you get two calls mixed up?
Nope.
There's a shipwreck victim in the middle of the theater district.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
We're on our way.
Something tells me there's gonna be another weird one.
We found our patient lying on the sidewalk, soaking wet. He was wearing a little sailor's cap and a Golden Mary polo shirt. I quickly did CPR and he came to.
Oh, what happened?
That's something we'd definitely like to know. How do you go from a shipwreck to the middle of the city?
It's kind of a long story.
I'd say so. Look at all these bruises and cuts. Come on, let's get you into the ambulance.
Let me grab my luggage.
Jeez, these things are heavy. You carry these all the way from the water?
It's a really long story.
I stayed in the back with the patient when Fern drove us to the hospital.
My arm hurts.
You're going to be fine. The hospital will get you all fixed up, and then I'm sure the police are going to want to talk to you to make some sense out of all this. Is this a gunshot?
I'm just a tour guide, man. My job is to get on loudspeaker and describe what people can see outside the boat. I had no idea what was going on inside.
I have no idea what's going on in that boat either.
I just don't want anyone to think I had anything to do with what happened.
No one's going to think you sank the ship.
No, not that, the other boat.
What other boat?
The boat full of bodies.
The what?
Oh, did you not know about the life raft murders?
No, I didn't know about the life raft murders. I just got here.
I've been unconscious, man. Did the gold heist not even make the news?
What gold heist?
Oh, okay, never mind then.
You just can't leave me hanging like that. Who are you?
I'm an out-of-work actor, that's it. I just got a job as a tour guide on the boat so I could practice my craft. That's a real acting challenge right there. The tour is terrible, but it's my job to sell it and make it sound fun. I know it's a scam. Everybody on board knows it's a scam. Staten Island Ferry is free. My boss sends out hustlers to make their way through the line selling tickets. And some people don't know the difference and pay $40 a piece. Then they're told that they don't need to wait in line, they can walk right over the free shuttle. But before they can stop to wonder why they need a shuttle for a boat that's just a few feet away, they're directed to an illegal bus stop, crammed into an illegal shuttle, and by the time they realize the pier is disappearing in the rearview mirror, they're already on the long drive to a whole other state. hours pass, and they realize that if they just stayed in line, they would have boarded, taken their trip, and come back again. They're already tired, hungry, thirsty, and grumpy, and then they're thrown on a rusted, leaky old boat that isn't authorized to get anywhere near the Statue of Liberty, let alone take tourists there. By the time they realize that a far-off view of the statue's rear end is the best they're going to get, they're ready for mutiny. It's a lousy trip even when the boat doesn't sink. That's where I come in. I put on a show, I tell some stories, I do a little razzle-dazzle. They're going to get scammed anyway, I might as well make it mildly enjoyable, and make a couple of bucks in the process. Acting gigs aren't exactly easy to get around here, you know? Plus, who knows, maybe some Broadway producer will get suckered into a boat ride and see I've got what it takes.
Yeah, good luck with that. What was this about the gold heist?
Oh yeah, that. So I heard a rumor after the boat took off that one of the cleaning guys in the boat knew a guy who heard from another guy that the captain of the ship was up to some shady business. I guess he'd taken some kind of bribe from some criminals to help him escape from a crime scene or something. I don't know, some kind of heist, that's all I knew. Other than that, it was a normal night. Of course, until the, ship sank.
What happened?
I don't think there's any vast conspiracy there. As far as I know, it's just a terrible boat. One that never should have been in the water to begin with. I think the sinking took all the criminals and the rest of us by surprise. I was helping the passengers load into life rafts when I saw one boat going down with only 4 people in it. So I rushed over to let them know that we needed to put more people on the boat, and to tell them they weren't supposed to be taking their luggage on the life rafts in any event. But one of the men shouted at me, "This is for our crew only."
Are you okay? Are you choking?
Oh no, I was doing the voice.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
You're in recovery. You don't have to do that.
I'm an actor, sir. I assure you that I do.
Okay, go on.
So he shouts, "This is for our crew only." And I respond, I am on the crew. And the men looked at each other curiously, and another guy asks, "You work for the captain?" And I said, "Of course." And another guy looked at him and said, "Well, in any event, he's seen our faces." And another guy says, "Get in."
Are you going to do all of the voices for this story?
Yes.
Oh, okay, carry on.
I'm not proud of it, but I got in the boat. I could have stayed and helped more passengers get to safety, but I did what I was told. And as they started lowering the boat, one of the men asked, "What about the captain?" And another said, "Forget about the captain. You think he was going to share all the gold with us anyway? We're cutting him out." And that's when I realized they didn't mean the crew of the ship. I just accidentally claimed to be part of the heist crew. Those bags were full of stolen gold. The boat plunged into the water, and we took off. After a few minutes, one of the men exclaimed, "How can we be sure that everyone here is who they say they are?" The first guy responded, "What do you mean?" And the other said, "The captain recruited us all separately. We worked separately. We all went by nicknames, and we all wore masks. Anyone here could be an interloper trying to steal the gold." Well, as you can imagine, I was quite terrified at that.
I can imagine.
Suddenly, the first man pulled out a gun and pointed at us. He said, "Well, if anyone here is lying about who they say they are, I won't hesitate to remove them from the situation." Now, let's not turn on one another.
That's why the captain kept us so separate. It wasn't to protect us. He didn't want us working together. He was probably planning to off us all and run off with the gold himself. We've already survived. We can split the gold. We don't need to turn on one another.
That's exactly why I shot the captain. The captain is dead? Do you want to be next? Well, why don't we all introduce one another and tell what we did on this job? I'll start. I'm Old Seaman. I was the man with the plan. The reason you're all here. I worked on the freighter and fed the captain the information about the gold shipments. I drove the motorboat that got us from there to the tourist boat without anyone knowing. And I'm the guy that knows where to go now not to get caught. Well, your voice sounds familiar. I'll buy that. I'm Ding Dong, the armorer. As you can see, I'm the one with the guns. I'm the one who stood guard. I'm the one that provided you with all the tools you needed to do your jobs, including this gun that I'll use on anyone who tries to double-cross me. I'm Portiek, the lockpick. I'm the one who broke into the off-limits part of the freighter and opened the vault. I think I remember you two, but I don't remember you. Who, me? No, not you. You.
I'm Scotch Boy, the blackmailer.
Who exactly did you blackmail?
The captain. I heard the captain talking about the plan at the bar one night, and then I did a little blackmail and he had to cut me in. And if you don't want me turning all of you in, you'll give me the captain's share.
Then we don't need you. Then suddenly, blam! Ding Dong had pulled the gun out and shot Scotch Boy in the chest. He fell into the water, dead. Then, Ding Dong turned the gun to me.
And who are you? What did you say?
The only thing I could think of. The truth. I said, I'm Jan Fagel. Jan Fagel? What kind of a heist nickname is Jan Fagel? Oh, you want my nickname? I'm, the guide. Guiding who? To where? I knew I'd messed up. I needed to come up with a role in the heist, something indispensable. Something that wouldn't get me shot. I needed a character. Luckily, I'm an actor. So I channeled the character from one of my first community theater plays and winged it. Guiding who? Guiding where? Is this the questions you people ask? No wonder the captain brought me in. Guiding you idiots into getting out of this situation alive. That's what I'm here to do. The captain paid good money to get that gold and get you out of the situation. You got the gold. You cut out the captain. You shot the blackmailer. Now what? Do you dummies have any idea what comes next? Yes, we sell the gold, we move to the tropical paradise and sip margaritas on the beach somewhere, that's what. What did you learn about heists from cartoons? You want to sip margaritas on a tropical beach, you know you can just go, right? You can get a cabana on the beach for like $6. Getting there is the expensive part. Carrying a case full of gold makes that more difficult, not less, you buffoons. You have any idea what to do with the gold now that you have it? Sell it? Sell it. Who? Where? How? You're in a boatload of fugitives. There's an international manhunt going on out there right now, and you think they won't notice some loser out there trying to sell a duffel bag full of stolen gold? You so much as whisper the possibility of having gold to sell, and you'll have enough sniper rifles pointed at you to light your head up like a Christmas tree. In your hands, this gold is a liability. I'm the guy who knows how to get you out of this situation, to turn this gold into cash without tripping alarms and getting you thrown in a cell. I'm the man with the fake passports and escape plan. I'm the man who can load up your pockets and help you disappear without a trace.
Can you really do all that?
Oh heck no, I don't even know if any of that is a real thing. Just sounded like something you'd have to do in a heist. I crossed my fingers hoping no one else in the boat already had that job so that they'd buy it.
And did they?
Alright, I'll buy that. So what do we do next? We have to get to shore first before we can meet my contact. Old Seaman is the man with the plan, why don't we ask him? We were supposed to switch boats all the way down the river. There's no way this flimsy life raft can make it all the way down there. Well, if we don't get out of here fast, someone's gonna come rescue us, and then it's all over. Don't you know of someplace we can hide out? If we can find our way to a sewer grate, I can guide us underneath the city to someplace safe. Well, look who's suddenly helpful. Suddenly? Who got the gold out of the freighter? You claim, but I'm still not sure who I can trust. Everyone, get us into those sewers.
You were floating around in the sewers? So that's what that smell is. I think it's safe to say all these cuts are going to be infected.
So anyway, we're floating through the sewers and Ding Dong slides back to talk to me. I know what you're thinking. What am I thinking? We got 1 bag of gold and 4 men. Poor Dick's job is already done. Old Seaman is useless at this point. What do we need them for? You want to betray him? I spent a couple decades in prison because I stood by someone else. A woman seduced me into murdering her business rival and then hung me out to dry. I'm done sticking my neck out for others. I do what's best for me. What did you just say? That's between me and the guide. It doesn't concern you. It concerns all of us. We're sitting a few feet apart from one another on a boat inside a concrete sewer that echoes. You think we can't hear you? You're planning to kill us all and take the gold. Get ready to fight, Fagel. Don't look at me, I'm not part of this. Get him! So Old Seaman and poor Dick lunged at Ding Dong and they all started fighting over the gun. Like that. And then suddenly I heard another loud bang! And Ding Dong fell out of the boat and into the water. And I was shocked. But then I felt air blowing on me from behind. I turned and noticed the gunshot had put a hole in the boat. I scrambled to pinch the hole shut before I noticed how it had done so. The bullet had gone through Ding Dong, straight through my arm and into the boat. I looked up and Old Seaman had the gun. I've had it. I spent 36 years shipwrecked at sea with nothing. I finally get rescued, come home, returned to my dear wife and found that she had taken me for dead and married me best friend. So I went back out to sea for another 36 years. But I'm not spending one more second doing grunt work out on the ocean. I'm taking this money, and I'm not spending 1 second trying to trust either one of ya. This boat is sinking. We'll be on foot soon. I'm an old man. I can't carry this gold alone. One of you is gonna help me carry it. And for that you can have half. The other is a liability. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be the best one to help me? And don't give me all that about knowing who to sell the gold to. I have me own connections. The man pointed the gun toward us, quickly moving it between me and poor Dick. One of us was about to die. Look, man, I can carry it. I can carry both of them. And I know the way. You know how many escapes I've had to make through these tunnels. And I carried much heavier things than bags of gold. I stole a body from a funeral home once. That's disgusting. It really is, yes. The less said about it, the better. And then he pointed the gun at me. And what about you? I was frozen. But then, in an instant, I knew exactly what to say. What about me? What about me? Have you never heard the legend of the famous brig Maelstrom? Or the great and dreaded smuggler commander who sailed it? The man who would turn wild when a gale got up, and as the wind blew harder, so he grew wilder, until at last it seemed as if he had gone mad altogether. They say that while facing storms and bubbled like a boiling cauldron in water that ran over even the lighthouse galleries, he could be seen dancing and skipping up on his deck. Many of his sailors told afterwards how they heard his mad shrieks above the roaring wind. Some said he had sold himself to the evil one, while others said he cared for neither God nor man. Wherever he went, he took storms with him. Wherever he went, he ran up the black flag. He would bear down on the other ships in a gale, and many a poor disabled craft that was struggling hard to keep herself afloat would see the black hull of the Maelstrom coming down upon her in the storm, and so would perish miserably upon the rocks. Neither storm nor man could stop him from taking what he wanted, but there were those who tried. And no matter how many thought they had killed him, the commander would never stop breathing. He would fall to raving and foaming at the mouth, and swear a great oath upon his own soul that he would be revenged. And not by killing his enemies, no, he had much more devilish methods. While his enemies were at sea, he would show up in their homes and drag their families from their beds, force them to his ship and bury them at sea. And this would be only the beginning of their eternal torment. Wherever they would go, there he would be, giving them such torment that they begged him to take their lives. But he would only take pleasure in their suffering and their gold. Only years later, as they died of old age as the commander watched, would they dare speak his name. Yo, yo, Jan Fagel, yo. That's who I am. You really want to point that gun at me? Yeah, I'm not messing with that guy. Poor Dick, you gotta go.
Where did that come from?
Oh, what, you mean the monologue? Oh yeah, I used to do that 5 times a night. I used to play the pirate mascot at a themed seafood restaurant until I got fired.
So what happened?
Oh, I got caught stealing hush puppies from the salad bar. But they should have been offering free food for staff anyway. I mean, I worked.
No, not at the restaurant. In the murder boat.
Oh yeah, that, yeah. The old seaman and poor Dick got in a big fight, and they murdered one another in the boat just before it sank. And then I got swept away in the sewer and nearly drowned until I found a way out and crawled up onto the street and collapsed, and then you found me.
You should really be telling this to the police, not me.
Oh heck no, I'm not telling the police.
Why not? Why tell me?
Oh, I'm just workshopping the one-man show I'm going to do about all this. I'll perform it on Broadway. I mean, I got to work on the voices a little bit, but it's going pretty good.
How are you going to get on Broadway? You got fired from a seafood restaurant.
Well, I can rent the theater myself. All the other guys killed each other, and I'm the one that ended up with gold. See ya.
As we pulled up to the hospital, the great and dreaded pirate Jan Fagel grabbed his duffel bags full of gold and ran off into the night.
Hey, what happened to that guy?
It's kind of a long story.
Thank you for listening to BEFM Drama. This was Shipwrecked in the City, based on The Wreck of the Golden Mary by Charles Dickens, Wilkie Collins, Percy Fitzgerald, Holme Lee, Adelaide Anne Proctor, and Reverend James White. You know, I'm genuinely coming up with a theory here that I think Dickens' collaborators might have been messing with him for taking credit for all of their work, because this whole book is full of dirty jokes and dark things and very upsetting deaths that are very unlike a Charles Dickens story. And I think, you know, as much as I didn't like this book, they tricked him into putting his name on it, and somehow I got a lot of respect for that. This radio play was written by me, Ryan Estrada. It starred Sam Hazelton as Goblin, Kelly Brassbridge as Fern, MBX McLean as Dispatch, and me as far too many characters. Hidden Agenda, Twisting, and Unseen Horrors are by Kevin McLeod of Incompetech and released under Creative Commons Attribution License. Goblin's theme is by Unheard Music Concepts. Thank you for listening. See you next time.